What about arms supplies, ammunition? Is China going to supply that to Russia? And what do you think the Ukraine war has taught China about the West?
Well, on what agreements come out, I think they'll be mainly economic and trade, but we'll hear them both recommit to using authoritarian power to challenge democratic states and tear down rules they don't like. Arms supplies, I think, are much more likely a little later if Putin has obvious major reverses in his war from things like a Ukrainian counterattack. Well, and what has Xi and China learnt about the West from this war? That's a great question. I think he's learnt some unpleasant truths. The propaganda that Beijing and Moscow have pushed about a declining, divided West looks wrong, given the unified and rapid support of Ukraine during this war. And the other big lesson, I think, is Russia is much weaker militarily and economically than China might have hoped as a partner. And the third powerful lesson is being learned every day on the battlefield. Western military technology is dominant, and that's good news for those who want to deter Beijing.
What about the visit of Putin to Mariupol over the weekend? We know the International Criminal Court has issued a warrant for his arrest. There's been a lot of speculation about his health. I was looking for footage to, take an amateur gaze at whether he looked fit, whether he was moving well. Any assessments?
Well, I think Putin deliberately visited just before Xi turned up to show that Xi is leaning in to supporting Putin during his war. He did it at night so that no one can see the death and destruction that he's visited on that town. And he looks very old for a 70-year-old.